number 953. I love these live shows, okay? We talked last time about wine is a mocker, strong drink is raging, and I mentioned I've never touched it, and I said give the reasons why I think probably you should not even touch it. And if you want to, go ahead, okay? It's not, do what you want to do, but I'm not going to. The same word is used for grape juice and wine. I think it was grape juice. You drink it the same day, John chapter 2. There's no chance of becoming an alcoholic if you don't touch it. No chance, okay? Save lots of money. That's a better testimony for the Lord, I think, and no stumbling block. Okay, Proverbs chapter 22. From chapter 10 through 22, there's over 400 wise sayings. Proverbs 20 continues the collection of Solomon's wise sayings, his advice for his sons. With 700 wives, he probably had lots of sons, I'm guessing, okay? Solomon focuses on numerous things which harm the unwise. Among them, laziness, wrong values, bad decisions. How many have ever been harmed in your life physically or financially because you made a bad decision? Anybody? How about because you were lazy? How about because you had the wrong values? Solomon, this is advice for all of us here, okay? He said, it's an honor for a man to cease from strife, but every fool will be meddling. Some people have got to get involved in everybody. They'll walk past people having a conversation and they stop and butt in their 2 cents worth. Don't be meddling, okay? The sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold. It's too cold, I can't go plow my field. Therefore, shall he beg in harvest and have nothing. The sluggard is lazy. 60 most ridiculous excuses people actually use to get out of work. The employee couldn't come in because his llama wouldn't stop barfing. So he couldn't come to work. He got stuck in the blood pressure machine at the grocery store. Couldn't get out. Yeah. One employee broke his arm reaching to grab a falling sandwich. So I can't come to work. When he said a fortune teller had asked him not to step out of the house or he would suffer brain hemorrhage. One employee couldn't come to work because she accidentally got on a plane. These are excuses they use. An employee had to attend the funeral of his wife's cousin's pet because he was the uncle in the pallbearer. Okay. One employee, false teeth flew out the window while driving down the highway. Can't come to work today, okay? One employee claimed the ozone in the air flattened his tires. That'll do it, yep. One guy said, was bowling the game of his life and he couldn't make it to work. Can't quit bowling, it keeps working, okay. One employee said she was bitten by a duck. Oh, that's serious. One employee has a traumatic stress from a large spider found in her home and had to stay home to deal with it. What, the stress or the spider? Okay. One employee caught their uniform on fire by putting it in the microwave. One employee woke up in a good mood and didn't want to ruin it by having to go to work. One employee's dead grandmother was being exhumed for a police investigation. So I got to stay home. One employee forgot he'd been hired. I see. Excuses. There's that song, excuses, excuses. You hear them every day. That's hilarious. The sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold. 51 best excuses for homework. I heard these all the time in my 15 years of teaching, okay? The dog ate my homework. The computer broke. My mom forgot it. Oh, yeah, blame mom. That works real good, okay? The internet was out. My grandma died again. The older kids took it off me and tore it up. Oh, okay. Mom wanted to display my homework on the fridge. She was so proud of it. I finally did it once, okay? The police confiscated it as evidence. Good excuse, okay? I was abducted by aliens and they took it. I see. I sent it to you in the post. My dad mistook it for a letter and posted it to China. I can't. Had to burn it in the fireplace to keep them warm. Good excuse. It flew out the window of the car. I thought I'd do it tomorrow because I'll be older and wiser then. Yeah, good excuse, okay? I did my homework. It's all up here in my head. That'll work. I didn't do it because I didn't want to add to your workload, to the teacher's workload, yeah. My hand fell asleep and I didn't want to wake it up. Excuses. Jesus told us clearly, the Bible tells us clearly many times, go preach the gospel, go preach, go preach. He told us clearly what we're supposed to do. What's your excuse? Are you not doing it? What's your excuse? 50 times the word preach is found in the Bible. When God said to Adam, God called Adam and said, where are you? Where art thou? He said, I heard your voice and I couldn't come because I was naked. First man ever created made an excuse to not do what God told him to do. He said, who told you you were naked? Did you eat off that tree? He said, the woman that you gave me, he's passing the buck. How many have ever done something wrong and you tried to pass the buck off to somebody else? It's their fault. Can't be my fault. It's somebody else's fault. That woman that you gave me, so God, this is actually your fault. You gave me that woman. 2-year-old, yeah. He said to the woman, what is this that thou hast done? She said, the serpent. Pass the buck, blame it on the serpent. I like that sermon by David Ring. David Ring has cerebral palsy. He starts off, hi, my name's David Ring. I got cerebral palsy. What's your excuse? And he's done a fabulous job for the Lord. I don't know what's happening in your life. All of us have trouble. All of us do. Do something for God anyway. What's your excuse? Johnny Erickson Tada, 17 years old, dove into shallow water, broke her neck, paralyzed neck down, did a fabulous ministry for the Lord, still going, okay? Fanny Crosby, American mission worker, poet, lyricist, composer, prolific hymnist. She wrote more than 8,000 hymns and songs. A doctor put the wrong, this is back in the 1800s, put the wrong medicine in her eyes and blinded her for life. 95 years as a blind woman, wrote songs. What's your excuse? Edison said, I've not failed 700 times. I've not failed once. I succeeded in proving those 700 ways will not work. When I've eliminated the ways that will not work, I'll find the way that will. How about this guy, age 91? What's your excuse? The cop said to the guy, why did you run, sir? My wife ran off with a cop and I thought you were bringing her back. Wonder if that excuse will fly. Okay. Counsel in the heart of man is like deep water. A man of understanding will draw it out. Some people got wisdom that you need. You got to sit there and draw it out of them. Come on, now tell me, talk to me, okay? Most men will proclaim every man his own goodness, but a faithful man who can find? Who can find a faithful one? Boy, Solomon said in Ecclesiastes 7, we'll get there someday. This I found, saith the preacher, counting one by one to find an account. That which my soul seeketh, I find not. He said, I've been looking, haven't found one. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all those have I not found. I'd say he searched harder than anybody. He had 700 wives, couldn't find one that was faithful. Okay. Don't be pretentious. Nobody's perfect. Nothing is more annoying than someone who acts like they are perfect. Yeah. Look at me, folks. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. The just man walketh in his integrity. His children are blessed after him. A king that sitteth in the throne of judgment scattereth away all evil with his eyes. Who can say, I've made my cart clean, I am pure from my sin? Nobody can say they're perfect, okay? You think you are? Stay away from me. Divers weights and divers measures. Both of them are alike abomination to the Lord. That was the custom in those days when you're going to buy something. You go to the store, they had a balance scale. You would weigh out, 1 ounce of silver for the groceries or something. And they would have scales that were not honest, not true. Divers, meaning diversity, different weights and different measures are abomination. It means God hates it. One of the key themes in this verse is the concept of sin and purity. We're all sinners. Nobody's pure. The Bible teaches that all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. There is none righteous, no, not one. This verse from Proverbs acknowledges the universal reality of sin and the impossibility of achieving purity through human effort. That's why Jesus has to cleanse you and make you a new person. And when you get to heaven, you lose that old sinful flesh that wants to do wrong, and you're going to only want to do right. I can't wait. I'm ready for that one. I don't want to go today, but okay. Let's see. Divers weights, divers measures. God hates them. Even a child is known by his doings, not talking. What does he accomplish? What have you accomplished in your life? Some people at the end of the day, they can look back at the day and say, I didn't really accomplish anything. That's sad. Whether his work be pure and whether it be right. Even a child. I looked up having kids work. 10 verses from Proverbs to teach kids about working hard. My dad was good at that. We had a map of our property, the house in the middle, had the yard divided up into 4 sections. If you mow this section, you get 25 cents. If you mow the back, you get $1. Back then, you could buy a clack with $1, So, and we would say, hey, Dad, I need some money. Okay, take a look at the chart. Had a list of things you can do to earn money. You want to mop the kitchen floor, you get 75 cents. Have a list of things you want done, parents. And when your kid says, I need money, don't give them money. Say, here, take a look. How much you need? You work all you want. I'll pay you for everything you do. Yeah, Just an idea, okay? Having kids work hard. He that tilleth his land shall be satisfied with bread. If you plow your field and grow something, you'll have something to eat. But he that followeth vain persons, people that just talk all the time, think they're hot stuff, is void of understanding. The thoughts of the diligent tend only to plenteousness. All they do is think about, how can I do this? How can I accomplish something else? Love not sleep, lest thou come to poverty. Open thine eyes, and thou shalt be satisfied with bread. It is not, saith the buyer. When he's gone his way, he boasteth. Oh, that's nothing. But after he gets it off, you think, aha, I got a deal out of that. Poverty found in the Bible a whole bunch of times in the book of Proverbs, okay? How to be poor. Read all the Proverbs. Some of you are doing real good at it without reading them. Okay. Poverty. Let's see. Fruit of rubies in the lips, but the lip knowledge are a precious jewel. Find somebody with some wisdom. Pick their brain. What do I do in this case? Okay. Take his garment that is surety for a stranger, and take a pledge of him for a strange woman. Bread of deceit is sweet to a man, but afterwards his mouth shall be filled with gravel. Some people love it when they deceive you and trick you out of something. Every purpose is established by counsel, and with good advice make war. He that goeth about as a talebearer revealeth secrets. Therefore meddle not with him that flattereth with his lips. This business of being a talebearer, spreading rumors, spreading gossip, stuff like that, is found all through the Bible. Thou shalt not go up and down as a talebearer among thy people. Neither shalt thou stand against the blood of thy neighbor. I am the Lord. A talebearer revealeth secrets, but he that is of a faithful spirit concealeth the matter. The words of a talebearer are as wounds. They go down to the innermost part of the belly. He that goeth about as a talebearer revealeth secrets. Don't meddle with those people. Stay away from talebearers, okay? Where no wood is, the fire goeth out. And where there is no talebearer, the strife ceases. We'll quit talking, most of the fights stop. Yeah. The words of a talebearer are as wounds. They go down into the innermost parts of the belly. Okay. Whoso curseth his father or his mother, his lamp shall be put out in obscure darkness. I want you to think this morning, how have you treated your mom and dad? Doesn't matter if they're good or bad. How have you treated them? Bible's got a lot to say about that. He that curseth his father or mother shall be put to death. First time it's mentioned, this is in, where the 10 Commandments are. Exodus 20, 10 Commandments. These are the laws God gave. Everyone that curseth his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. He hath cursed his father or his mother. His blood shall be upon him. It's his problem. He earned it. Whoso curseth his father or mother, his lamp shall be put out. There's a generation that curseth father and doth not bless their mother. Jesus said, Matthew 15, God commanded, saying, honor thy father and mother. He that curseth father or mother, let him die the death. Moses said, honor thy father and mother. Whoso curseth the father or mother, let him die the death. This is Jesus talking in the red ink here, okay? Back in the 10 Commandments, Exodus 20, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the earth. This is the only commandment that has a promise attached to it. If you honor your mom and dad, you have a long life. Well, I want that one. Honor thy father and mother, that thy days may be prolonged. The last book in the Old Testament, Malachi. A son honoreth his father. If I be a father, where's my honor? God says, Malachi, tell the people, you call me your heavenly father. Why don't you honor me? All through, Jesus said a whole lot about this business of honoring the father. You can read all those verses on your own. And Ephesians tells us, honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment with a promise attached. My son, God created a chain of command in the house, in the home, and put the father in charge. Whether you want it or not, Dad, you got to make the final decision and suffer the consequences if it's stupid, okay? God orders us to honor our father. The way you treat me will probably be the way your son treats you one day. I tried to honor my father and mother, especially after I got saved when I was 16. God promised a long life if you do that. I want that. So you atheists are going to have to put up with me for a long time. Then my videos are going to keep going after that. Might as well pick a new target. Okay. Proverbs, Solomon said, his dad, he taught me. And my dad taught me so many things, thousands of little practical things. When we're working on a car, he'd explain why. How do brakes work? I know how brake systems work. I know how propulsion systems, U-joints. I can take a car apart. I don't have time, but I know how to do it, okay? If your dad didn't teach you, quit complaining. You break that chain and do it for your kids. Quit saying, well, my dad didn't teach me, therefore, shut up. His dad died when he was a teenager of a long, lingering illness, tuberculosis. He didn't get a chance to teach my dad much of anything. And so Dad said, I'm going to break the chain. He would go to the library and read books on how to build a birdhouse. Come home, okay, boys, we're going to build a birdhouse. We did not know it, but he was just barely staying ahead of us. He would learn something and then teach us. You can do the same thing. Quit making excuses. He taught us how to earn money, how to spend money wisely, the difference between passive and active income. Their dad. And Tom Pisano was one of my best friends. He's now pastoring a church in Peoria. If anybody goes, Christ Church, I think is the name of it. If you live near Peoria, go see Tom, say, Tom, Brother Hovind says hi, and come down, visit Dinosaur Adventureland. Tom and I, he was an older Christian, and older in the Lord. He taught me a lot of stuff. Thank you, Tom. Thank you. An inheritance may be gotten hastily at the beginning, but the end thereof shall not be blessed. Look, you might get something, you might steal something from somebody, get an inheritance early, but it won't be blessed long term. Say not thou, I will recompense evil, but wait on the Lord. He shall save thee. Divers weights, that means diverse, different, are an abomination to the Lord, and a false balance is not good. Man's goings are of the Lord. How can a man then understand his own way? It's a snare to the man who devoureth that which is holy, and after vows to make inquiry. A wise king scattereth the wicked. See, you want a leader, a judge, the leader of the business, the leader of the company, the leader of the church, the leader of the home, to be wise to make decisions. Because kids will do things, if you're the dad, where it gets kind of tough to make the right decision. What do I do here? Okay, how do I handle this? The king has to do this with the whole country. A wise judge has to do that with their whole district, whether it be, whatever. You need a wise, pray for wisdom. The spirit of the man is the candle of the Lord, searching all the inward parts of the belly. That phrase, candle of the Lord, reminded me of Lester Roloff. How many have ever heard of Lester Roloff? He was a great preacher many years ago in Corpus Christi, Texas. If anybody can find, he preached a famous sermon called The Mule Walked On. Somebody Google that and find it and send it to me for Brother Meister, because he was working at Hiles-Anderson College, security, and somebody threatened Brother Hiles, and he said he was out chasing the bad guy. When Lester Roloff came and preached that sermon at Hiles-Anderson, it was hilarious and so true. It's about the story of Absalom. Got his hair caught in the tree, and the mule walked on. So please get that, send it to Brother Meister, or at least send a link for it. The phrase, the candle of the Lord, from Proverbs 20. The spirit of man is the candle of the Lord, searching all the inward parts of the belly. This verse is referenced in discussions about an American fundamentalist independent Baptist preacher, who often emphasized the spiritual significance of the lamp or candle in religious contexts. Lester Roloff interpreted this biblical imagery to maintain the importance of spiritual vigilance. Yeah. He connected the concept to the idea of personal accountability and the consequences of disobedience. I heard hundreds of Lester Roloff sermons growing up. How'd you do that? He was in Texas. I know. I'll show you. There are hundreds and hundreds of his great sermons from this place, soulwinning.info. I don't know anything about them. All I know is they collect Lester Roloff sermons, and you can buy them just for a donation on a cassette tape or MP3, CD or whatever they do it, okay? As a new Christian, I listened to hundreds and maybe even thousands of good sermons of great men of God as I drove back and forth to East Peoria Community High School, 6.4 miles away. As a new Christian, Dr. Lauren Dawson, my pastor, had started the gospel tape ministry. He had over 10,000 sermons on audio cassette every week. Hey, Brother Hovind, you got to listen to this, listen to this. I probably heard 10 sermons every week, driving back and forth. The gospel tape ministry, now directed by Dr. Knickenbocker, who serves as the current director, continuing the legacy of Dr. Lauren Dawson. He was my pastor. Pastored Bethel Baptist Church in Pekin, Illinois. That's where I went for 12 years. He established the gospel tape ministry, really started by Pastor Dawson's dad, Cody Dawson. Charity Ministries in Pennsylvania, charityministry.org. You want to get a bunch of good sermons? Hey, fill your kids' heads, fill your own head with the Bible, with good preaching. What are your children filling their mind with? Huh? You ever take the headphones off and listen to what they're listening to? Are you sure that pleases God? Some people wonder why my kid went bad. Duh, you did it yourself. That's the results you're going to get. They say insanity is doing something the same way and expecting a different result. You're insane, okay? The glory of young men is their strength. The beauty of the old man is the gray head. The blueness of a wound cleanseth away evil. Guess you got to spank them till they're black and blue sometimes, and then get rid of the evil in their life. So do stripes, the inward parts of the belly. Anyway, into Proverbs chapter 20. Questions or comments real quick, Joseph? A lot of good wisdom in there from Solomon. Nothing urgent? Okay. All right. Sounds good. Tomorrow night, Proverbs chapter 21. Come visit Dinosaur Adventureland. It's really a lot of fun. If you don't know what to do with your life, start something like this in your area. You could start a creation ministry. You can do it sitting in your home on your computer, have a creation ministry, amazing things that evolutionists cannot explain, and start putting it together. Why do the horseshoe crabs have blue blood? Why? Well, they know the chemical reason why, but why? How does it give God the glory for his creation? I did a whole series. Is that around here somewhere, Joseph? Creation ABC. I did a whole series called Making Babies, how different animals make babies. And in front of me. And asked people, can you explain how this evolved? You atheists didn't handle any of them. Why don't you explain? Can you explain, let's see, how the echidna makes babies and explain how that evolved, that process? Or the platypus, or the ducks, the hens, the chickens, the hippopotamus, the velvet worm. I go through all kinds of different animals and just to simply ask the question, can you give a scientific explanation to explain it? Here's creation that destroys evolution. A through Z. This one is D, E, F. Could you explain how this evolved? Nobody does it, Joseph. What happened? I thought
There's a lot. That whole series is well over
115 different items asking, how did this evolve? Let's see. Dragonflies, dandelions, dolphins, the diaphragm, the eucalyptus tree, echidnas, the eyes. You want to strengthen your kids' faith in the Bible? Get this series. Have them listen to this instead of the latest junk music out there. Okay. And is that the same thing here? Yeah, creation.
You can buy them individually or
Just go to drdino.com. We have lots of stuff up there. We want to strengthen your faith in the Word of God and help your children grow up in this wicked world and serve God. Okay. Thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow night for Proverbs 21. Come visit. Bye.